Today, on this episode of Fly the Flag with Team AFN, we welcome the creator of SocialSurvey and CEO of Experience.com, Scott Harris, to talk about the voice of the customer with our host, AJ Berfumo. Let's listen in.
Hey, Team AFN, and welcome to the Team AFN Fly the Flag podcast. I'm AJ Berfumo, and I'm very excited this week because we have a very special guest, the CEO of Experience.com, Scott Harris. Scott is an amazing guy. Again, the CEO of Experience.com has been providing such a high level of service to Team AFN for such a long time. And Scott, I want to start things out. I know you're a storyteller. So let's get right into that. And please let me know the story of how you became part of the AFN family.
So first off, thanks for having me on. I got a call from Corey saying to get my ass on this call. So when Corey tells me to do something, we do it. And second, Andrew, New Jersey. That's a long way away from Bria. How about you? How did you come on to AFN? I want to understand that. Did you? How long have you been with AFN?
So I've been with AFN now. It's getting a little over a year and a half now. Okay. So Matt Schultz and John D'Onofrio from the Northeast Division are two amazing friends of mine, very longtime friends of mine. And we've been talking about one day I got to get to AFN. And just that one day there, it was on October 19. I called Matt and John in the morning. I said, look, I'm going to be there this afternoon. We're going to work this out. Here we are.
Oh, I love it. That's perfect because I mean, I've been to a lot of the AFN events and my goodness, do they throw a great event, right?
No doubt about it.
And I love the family and team environment. I love the culture there. And this crew knows how to party. You look like you fit in. And I got to tell you, I have a little bit of envy here. You've got I have this fantastic, you got this headset with the mic. I've got my Mac. I have this fantastic studio. I got all these cameras pointing at me, all these lights pointing at me. I don't know how to use any of this crap. I just pull it in, open it up. All right.
Here's the secret. The secret is leave it all stable, never move it, and just set it up. So all you got to do is sit down and flip a switch.
That's right.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's what I need to have the team. That's fantastic. All right, let's dig in. It is one of my favorite stories. I tell it on stage at a lot of places that I go. I was doing some work in technology and recruiting for AFN back in early 2015 when I was also building the SocialSurvey platform. And I had a meeting. We had brought some recruits in, and there was some crossover in recruits, right? The in-house recruiting team and us had sort of worked together without even knowing we worked together to bring in some recruits. Mm-hmm. And we had a meeting with John and Doug at the time. John Gwynn, who's
right. You
guys are so lucky to have John Gwynn. What a great guy that guy is.
Oh, no doubt about it. Amazing guy.
Yeah, fits well with the team of Jack and John there. So we had a meeting, and it was to talk about this situation. Like, how are we going to divide this one? How are we going to split this one up? And so I came into, I think their office was in Chico at the time. And I came into Chico and had a business partner with me. And I sat down and we were talking about, and remember, I'm building this thing all day, all night, this SocialSurvey thing on the side. And I came in to talk about, my side gig, the way I was feeding my family. And we got in this room. And if you remember, Chico, when you walked in, you couldn't even get back around the corner. There's a conference room on the left, so that you didn't even have to go back around the corner to John's office and the bullpen, Jack's office. And so we went into this little conference room, and John came around with Doug, and we sat there, and we talked for 15, 20 minutes about the situation. And John, being John, which the guy's just fantastic. He said, well, let's just get down to it. What is it you think would be fair? What do you want? And I sat back in my chair and I said, remember, we were talking about recruits. Mm-hmm. I sat
Right.
back in my chair and I thought about the way he asked the question. And I looked at him and I said, I want you to be my first customer on SocialSurvey.
Huh.
And he said, what? And then my business partner who came with me looked at me like I had lost my mind and said, what we're talking about recruits. And then John says, what's SocialSurvey? And then my business partner in this very awkward way goes, I think it's time for a break. Look, can we take 10 minutes? And they were like, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. So they got up and left the room. My business partner is going, did you lose your mind? And I'm like, honestly, I don't care about these recruits, Scott. I need customers on this new platform, right? They'll pay us something for these recruits, but let's just have them pay us the same money and commit to being on SocialSurvey. And my business partner says, yeah, you could have filled me in. And I said, I didn't know I was going to do that. He asked what I wanted.
So a light bulb just went off that moment.
Light bulb went off in that second. I was like, what I really want is a customer for this thing that I'm in the process of building. So Scott calls John back in the room and says, and points to the TV and says, how do we hook this thing up? I think we're going to do a demo.
Wow.
And so I did a quick demo. John looked at it. I said, we would agree to X dollars over the next X number of months for that recruit. If you commit to me to put your whole team on this and let me show you what I can do, then we'll give you just that same dollar for that same amount of time. You know, in other words, I'll waive those other costs. I just need a beta customer, right?
Wow.
And that is how AFN, some of my oldest and dearest friends in the industry, became customer number 001 on SocialSurvey.
Customer 001, and out of nowhere, right? Just that one question.
He said, "What is it that you want?" I was like, "I don't care about this recruit, because my mornings at night, that my 4 a.m. till almost midnight some nights was all focused on this platform."
So you really had your heart, you had your passion into it. Yeah,
everything was into this thing. It was like, and people had told me nobody wants to be serial number 001. That'll be your heart. Like, get somebody that'll let you test it and break it, and right. Nobody, you'll end up having to give it away. And I was sitting across from a company who has grown, signed 5 contracts, I think, and has grown year over year. And how cool has that been to watch you guys grow the way you have? And now we have like 900 folks on the platform.
Yeah.
I was sitting across from a meaningful customer use case, and so it was fantastic. AFN has been great. The results have been fantastic. They've continued to improve. The loan officers have been engaged. I mean, you guys have, I don't even know how many, what do you have, 100,000 reviews or something on the platform?
Like, I don't know the number of reviews. I do know we have well over 1,000 loan originators here at the company now. So yeah, I mean,
there you go.
Even if each of them just have a few reviews, it's going to be a ton.
Yeah, I think you have 50-some thousand reviews just on our platform. And then you have reviews on LendingTree, and you have reviews you have thousands of reviews on Google My Business. I mean, literally just everywhere it is. And your completion rate is 55%. That means, and I think we survey real estate agents now for you guys. So that means across your realtors, your borrowers, your co-borrowers, everything, more than half of those people weigh in and talk about how great the experience was with Team AFN. So,
well, there's definitely no better compliment than that. Is as you say, the compliments, the reviews from our referral partners, from our clients, of course. So before we jump into experience.com and let everyone at Team AFN know the power that they have in their hands with experience.com, and even those that are planning on possibly joining AFN know the resources that are available, let's talk about when you sat with John 6 years ago. It was SocialSurvey. Now you're experience.com. Tell us about the change in the name.
All right. Couple of stories there. Well, one, let me just say, we started in mortgage, right? And starting in mortgage was a decision that we made because mortgage companies could afford it.
Right.
Right. And we could really power a lot of improvement if we did it in mortgage. And all of our competition started in like small business, or the Bird Eyes and the Reputations and these other folks. They started in small business, and we decided to start in mortgage. So when you start digging into what that means, it is complicated, right? That turned out to be the magic. That turned out to be the secret sauce. Starting in mortgage and doing it right for mortgage was the secret sauce. Literally, you have a loan officer that's, quite frankly, an autonomous route to market employee. They go get the business, right? And so they want to use voice of customer to power their business, social and reviews and website and SEO, Google and all, right? And then you have a branch. And in that time, we were coming out of this net branch idea. And so the branches were very autonomous. They could just pick up and go somewhere else. And so we had to map the branch. And also the branches want to use voice of customer for local Google and local presence. And then there's the regions. The regions sometimes had completely different names, which they still do, right? We still have DBA support.
Right.
And you couldn't share a review or share a social or share without respecting the actual brand that company was closing loans under.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the corporate, and corporate has requirements to reply to complaints. They have requirements to store marketing materials. They have, I mean, there's all kinds of regulations. And so in order to build this for mortgage, we had to build every tier, every condition, every storage and escalation. And that's how we became so, I would say, sticky, or we created so much value for the loan officers by respecting what they wanted. And so much value for the branches by respecting the workflows, the resolution, the sharing that they needed. We created value and for a regional to log in and see how they're doing and getting great reporting and making great decisions and respecting their marketing workflows. And then the company, the marketing teams for the company, they were heroes,
right?
Because they deployed this thing, right? And then compliance loved it because they could keep track of, I mean, it was one place where they could keep track of this. And
yeah, I mean, you did a very difficult thing. You created something for everyone along the way.
Yeah. Well put, by the way. And by doing that, people started asking questions. And this is an engaged crew. These mortgage marketers, man, they want more and more and more. Yeah. Can we rank these guys? Yeah, I think we can. Can we send a survey mid-process? Yeah, I think we can. Can we build an algorithm custom with a couple of different factors for yeah, I think we can. Can we send a survey to a real estate agent? Yeah, I think we can. Can we do this for servicing? And we just kept, you're already connected to Facebook. Can you start monitoring what's happening on Facebook? It's the same API. I think we can.
But you love that, right? Because now you're getting feedback from your audience of what they want.
I'm a product guy.
Yeah.
I love scratching that itch. I love doing the next thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so we built it and we built it and we built it and we built it. And that it was more and more magic. I mean, literally, the more we built, the more magical it became. We realized that all that great journey data that belongs on a CEO's report also belongs in the world, powering the business at every level. And so then something else happened. A couple of companies, not mortgage, came on. A couple of workflows that were not autonomous route to market employees, hourly people. Some insurance companies came on to manage adjusters more effectively.
Okay.
These were not share on Google. These were help me rank and reward and high five and get rid of bad people and keep my customers around and get customers into their home post loss. Rental car company came on, help me get better data, help me get more people in the rewards program, and we started seeing how like we would deploy and connect the dots and map this, and we started seeing this is a whole different ball game. We solve $100 million problem plus for most enterprises. Every conversation about their goals or their problems, we would sit in boardrooms and we would figure out how to map voice of customer or a text workflow, or you check in at the hotel, you get your key, you scan the door, it hits an API. We ask you, how was your check-in experience with Jill, and how does the room
Wow.
look? And if you say the room is great, but I need more towels, we map it to housekeeping, get you towels in a minute. I mean, it literally, because of the way we built the system.
Yeah.
All right. So
We're talking Jetson stuff here.
yeah. So we knew last year we had to start over.
Okay.
It's almost as if you built SocialSurvey,
Right.
which speaks volume. Let's collect and share, right? But you built it in a way that it kept demanding more, and it grew to a place where it was no longer SocialSurvey.
Mm-hmm.
And you had cobbled on more and more and more and more and more to this thing, and now the whole thing needs to be rebuilt. And so a year and a half ago, we said, we got to rebuild this thing. So we started rebuilding it, and we started ideating. And when you guys see this platform, it is blow your mind. It is it's world domination time for us. And so as we were building it, we kept saying, we're no longer SocialSurvey. We have to change this name. And so I said, I want to own the category. Go by the category name.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Experience.com. I want to own it. All of our competitors have to use that name. Some student services company, Simplicity or whatever, is using that name. Go buy it. They came back, $8 million. Now we were newer company, right? We had only been in business for a couple of years, $8 million.
Yeah, you're a baby. Yeah.
I said, okay, let me go to the investors. I didn't care. I'll pay $8 million for it. So I went to the investors, and the investor says, you've lost your damn mind. You're not paying $8 million for a domain.
Right.
So we got down to the wire, and we had to have a name. And so we bought Voce. We paid a lot of money for a 4-letter domain. It means voice in a bunch of different languages.
Okay.
VOCE. And people are like, well, how do you spell it? And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a problem, right? This is gonna be a problem. But we did it. We ordered the bags and started ordering the shirts. We set up the whole brand for the push button launch, and oh my goodness, was it a mess? And then Rebecca from marketing called, and she'd been the one that was trying to negotiate it before. And
Right.
she said, are you sitting down? And I said, yeah, tell me. She said, well, I've been tracking this, and Simplicity was a student services company. They did not have a good year, and they've hired a firm to divest some of their domain assets.
Wow.
And I said, how much?
Right.
And she said, $850,000.
Wow.
I said,
just over 10% of the original asking price.
I said, buy it. She said, you want to think about it for a second? And I said, I did. Buy it. And so, yeah, the marketing team had a coronary.
Awesome.
The marketing team had a coronary because they had to switch, but everybody's so happy. We own the category. We have the best platform in the world. We have the best name in the world. And now we're building the best SaaS team in the world. So, and it all started. All of it started serial number 001, AFN.
With AFN, absolutely. Yep.
Over a recruiting conversation.
It's great to hear that story, knowing that experience.com is who you are today. So I'm sitting there now on the edge of my seat saying, okay, how did we get experience.com from Voce, correct?
You helped create experience.com is the truth.
Right.
Right. I mean, and now just think
the
about
story.
it.
The story and the name came together and met. Yeah,
that's right. And just think about your control and management and the AFN. I mean, I remember sitting at a bar with Jack, just walking up, and it was between sessions, and I sat down at the bar, and I don't know if we were both having a soda or something, but we were just, that beachfront resort in Huntington Beach that they've done that thing at is freaking out of this world. So we were sitting there, and Jack put his arm around me and said, I am really proud of you. Right? What a moment. Because here's a guy that, and he never questioned John. It was never, I mean, he just trusted and came on, and what a great outcome for us. I've had a great relationship with those folks, and you guys have killed it, right? And now that we have this new platform, we're going to do so much more, right? You've got thousands of reviews, almost a tens of thousands of reviews, almost a 4.9 star average. I mean, the outcomes for your company and the way that we're helping to power that business, AFN's business with voice of customer, is really the story that brought us to the next phase of life. Now we're going to go be the next Oracle.
So let's jump into this for those Team AFM members not using experience.com to the maximum. And
What? No.
those, yeah, right. Imagine
Okay.
that. So let's jump into this for those Team AFM members and for people out there that are considering becoming Team AFM members. Let's talk a little about all experience.com has to offer, the power that they'll have in their hands.
Yeah. So now, when the entire organization can have one login for the entire org. So, Voice of Employee has an account. If there's a servicing group or a call center or distributed retail, or literally they can all have their own accounts, and then you log into one account, and then the hierarchy is nth degree. Like there can be as much hierarchy. You can add teams and other things into the hierarchy. Now we have journey moments. How's it going so far? How was your documentation experience with processor Jill Stevens? You can ask, oh, we noticed that your lock canceled. What's happening? Right? So we can retain those customers. We could ask purchasers one set of questions and refinances another set of questions. We could ask an entire workflow through one set of campaigns just for, we want social interaction and pictures, and another one we could focus on Google. There's so much customization. We can give, we can map to a Tableau or a Power BI or a Domo or other third parties. We now map to Mortgage Coach and MBS Highway and all the CRMs and all that. Right? We have full integrated listings for the loan officers and for the locations. So listings and reviews management on Google and Facebook. We integrate with LendingTree now, so all the reviews share there. We pre-populate Zillow now so that customers can do that workflow. We are so it's listings, profiles, social media monitoring, reviews management. We've just bought a chat platform, so you could deploy smart chat across, like every loan officer in the company can have their own chat instance.
Right.
And it can answer questions for them, or they could be on the golf course and be texting and it actually be chatting on their website. Right. So the idea is everywhere that you can power the business with voice of customer, we are either partnering or building or buying those companies.
Right. Omnipresence, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You mentioned being on the golf course and having the chat going for you. Yeah, of course. Be everywhere at all times.
That's right. It's voice of customer is the new marketing, right?
Yeah.
It really is. And it powers every part. It should power every part of the business. And so we're looking at buying an AI company. We're looking at buying a competitor to a brand watch. We're on the move, as they say, because the good news is that it's been built in such a way. I mean, when you see it, it's going to blow your mind. But it's been built in such a way that it keeps challenging you. Well, why aren't we doing this? Well, why aren't we doing, like, we can have a 20-year roadmap right now, right? It's just too much right now because it's build it, partner with it, or buy it are the three things that we ask ourselves every day.
So speaking of, once you see it and the power that you're going to see, for those Team AFM members that are not using experience.com to the maximum, reach out to our marketing department. We know how helpful our marketing department is. Can't say enough great things about Corey, Ashley, everyone else in the marketing department. So if you want to learn more about experience.com, want to get in there, learn all of its power, all of its features, reach out to our Team AFN marketing department.
They're the best. There's no doubt about it. You guys are in good hands there.
Absolutely. I mean, the story was just amazing. So from 2015, client 001, and to where AFN is today, where SocialSurvey, which of course now is experience.com, is today. I mean, two explosions. I mean, amazing companies that started together.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
How big is your team now?
We have 100 and 150, 155 people, and then a pile of contractors that are just amazing too. So we should be, this time next year, we should be 300-400 folks.
And this all started in 2015 with you and a partner, huh?
Yeah, with sitting across from John Gwynn.
Yeah.
I remember being at a trade show, and after John Gwynn had agreed to sign up, then we had AFN, who was somebody, right?
Now you had to,
because we had AFN, other people were like, all right, well, let's talk to you.
Yeah.
It's the way dominoes work sometimes, right?
Awesome.
What's
your favorite feature? So tell me this. You got one shot to wow the world with something experience.com does. What's it going to be? What's your absolute favorite feature?
Oh, I hate that question. Because it's
I don't know. I should be happy or sad about that.
It's not sexy. My favorite thing is the way we map to every part of the organization.
Yeah.
And every part of the organizational infrastructure and hierarchy. I mean, that's just because I know that we're nothing against our competitors without it. I know that people will come in and they'll pay Qualtrics or Medallia millions of dollars to build a workflow and to customize workflows, and they'll work with the consultants, and how do we ask the questions, and should we use template, and they'll come out of it and they'll have some 35-point questionnaire, some long form operational surveys. And if I have anything to do with it, the long form operational survey is dead. Right.
Okay.
But they'll do all this work and spend millions of dollars. And with this agile system, they could build the whole thing and more in a couple of hours in our platform. So because we built the entire hierarchy and this neat UI that connect, I mean, we did something very complicated,
right?
In a very neat and clean and intuitive package. So I would say, but if I wanted to be sexier, I would say the way that we engage and empower people, right? The ability to rank and reward and map to payroll and build algorithms and map to teammates, team leaders, and just the ability to power improvement in the individual, to engage people, to help people really love what they do. We are all driven by affirmation, some more than others.
Yeah. Yep.
We love it when people say good things about us. This is an affirmation machine, right?
Yeah.
This is an affirmation.
Awesome way to put it. Yeah, no doubt about it. Awesome way to put it.
Unless you suck.
Then it's your enemy. Yeah.
Yeah, then you don't want anything to do with it. We always know too, when we go into a company, like, we're not quite ready to deploy it. We don't have everything nailed. We're like, well, then you need to deploy it fast.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's great. I mean, look, you hit on convenience and you hit on affirmation. I mean, is there anything greater in today's world?
No, I will go on stage and I'll deliver a presentation, and people will really interact well with it, and I'll know that it was a great presentation. But somehow I need, my biggest critics on my team to tell me it was, it's just somehow we're wired to look for voice of blank, voice of customer, voice of just to improve, just to feel, to feel great. I don't know why, maybe, but it's powerful in that. We have counter agents from, rental car companies that'll call us and try to figure out the algorithm because they want to win. So whether you're a competitor,
right,
or whether you need affirmation, or whether accountability is the thing that makes you, it's all gamified. It's all in there because we have the hierarchy.
Awesome. Well, I mean, an amazing success story. Amazing how, as you said, this thing just keeps growing and growing, and there's always something new to build upon. And from that day in 2015 to where it is today, absolutely amazing. Excellent story.
So let's close like this. AFN is a big, important customer. And while they were serial number 001 in the first platform, they're too important to be 0 and 0 in the new platform. So we are being very, we're focusing a lot on making sure that when we do roll it out to AFN and other, massive partners, that we've kind of got it nailed, right? We are the create wow team. That's really important to us, right? Which means we need to deliver a wow transition experience. People don't like change. And so we want to make sure we have it all nailed, that we don't have bugs. And so I think AFN is probably mid-May, moving from SocialSurvey to experience.com. We should have the training nailed. We should have most of the bugs, or if not all the bugs, worked out. We should have the monitor launched. I mean, all the other things that, I'm sure that chat will be mostly done by mid-May, but we want to make sure that we nail this for a customer of your size. And nailing it is about a lot more than just platform. It's about transition. It's about training. It's about experience. And it's about creating wow for all of your loan officers. So coming to a desktop near you very, very soon will be the experience.com platform.
Well, that is awesome, Scott. And I really want to thank you so much for joining us here today on the Team AFN Fly the Flag podcast.